We know this man's got the power.
The bruise on my backside was spectacular. Crimson red in the center with concentric circles of purple, blue, and olive is perfect as the rings of Saturn. Getting hit by a golf ball usually leaves tangible evidence. When I emailed the photo to the perpetrator, a friend and fellow club member named Gary Mastronardi, he replied with a string of apologies and an abashed try at humor. Well, it's a good thing you turned around, or you'd be talking in a higher register. Gary had screamed, "Fore!" when his drive sailed offline into our fairway. I not only heard him, but had time to spin, crouch, duck, and cover my head. But of the 4 times I've been hit, once in the head, twice in the back, and once on the butt, this was the only time a shout of "Fore!" reached me in time to react. In 2 of the instances, I didn't hear anything, even though the hitters all swore they'd screamed it. The most doubtful claim happened on a rock-hard muny when I caught a 1 bouncer on the back of the head. My buddy said it made a sound like a coconut falling on Gilligan's head. He heard the coconut sound, but did not hear anyone yell "Fore." Shouts of "Fore!" just aren't as unassailably effective as most golfers believe. The incident at the Ryder Cup in which Brooks Koepka struck a woman in the eye with a full-blooded driver on the 5th hole of the Friday morning 4-ball matches was unfortunately more typical. Although Koepka and others on the tee screamed "Fore," video of the incident shows that not one person in the gallery ducked. The injured woman, Corrine Remande, claims no one yelled a warning, and she reportedly is filing a lawsuit against the organizers. Remande's doctors have said she's never going to recover full vision in her right eye. A real-world breakdown of what happens from the moment of club ball impact to when the dimpled missile returns to Earth is sobering to say the least. As we present a start-to-finish timeline of what transpires, you might begin to look at the usefulness of "Fore!" Can work, as my episode with Mastronardi illustrates, but it tends to provide the illusion of safety more than actual protection. To begin, the average hang time of a PGA Tour player's tee shot for the 2017-18 season was a shade over 6 seconds. For everyday players, the hang time naturally is less, more in the range of 5.5 seconds. We refer to hang time because in most cases, it's the balls that hit people on the fly that are the most dangerous. Spectators and golfers, of course, don't have 5.5 seconds to duck and cover. The window is much shorter, beginning with the fact that it takes a conscientious player about 2 seconds after impact to notice the shot has gone awry and to holler "Fore!" The 5.5 hang time and the fan golfer collision has now been reduced to 3.5 seconds. It gets shorter. Once the golfer screams the warning, the sound takes less than a second to reach the potential victim's ears. The speed of sound is 375 yards per second, but the shout can travel slower than that if the air is cold. At the moment Koepka's tee shot struck Remande, the temperature at the Paris airport was 51 degrees, hardly balmy, and if there's a headwind, the sound is diminished because the wind tends to refract the sound, or carry it upward. The shouts in effect become quieter, and let's face it, some shouts are louder than others. A papery, non-assertive bleat might not carry 250 yards away. Even more sound-diminishing forces are at work. Trees can muffle the sound, the wind can whistle in your ears, there's conversation among spectators or fellow golfers, and less focus when the golfer hitting is hundreds of yards away. Even when our eyes are focused on the golfer, we often see little more than the blur of a swing and then have trouble picking up the ball against a pale sky, as was present at Le Golf National during the Ryder Cup. So at this point, almost 3 seconds have elapsed since the ball was struck and "Fore!" was shouted and presumably heard. When it finally reaches the eardrums, things look up briefly. Humans respond physically to sound faster than they do visual stimulus. A startled muscular response is almost instantaneous, as when someone sneaks up and shouts, "Boo!" But the muscular reaction is rarely of the duck and cover variety, at least at first. I've seen countless golfers react initially by instinctively glancing in the direction of the shout, presumably to sort out where it's coming from. Then they duck. Again, and we can't stress this enough, every golfer should absolutely shout "Fore!" every time without fail. Guys, yeah, this is really important. This is from my own personal experience. I have a buddy who I used to play with, and I've shown him in one of my vlogs. He got hit in the eye, and it was very costly for him. He ended up getting taken away in an ambulance off of the golf course, and the guy who hit him didn't even apologize, didn't even come up and ask him if he was okay. Didn't yell "Fore," didn't say anything, just hit the guy in the face and that was it. But I know of another person who got hit in the knee from a straight shank, And the guy was never the same. He had surgery in his right knee, and then he was never able to play golf the same again because he just couldn't put pressure on it. And for me personally, I got hit in the neck one time. Luckily, it was a glancing blow that hit a tree first and hit me in the neck, and I was livid because the guys were only, I would say, I don't know, maybe like 180 yards away, maybe 150 yards away. Because right in that moment, I thought, wow, if that would have hit me in the throat, you know, I do voiceover for a living. So if that would have hit me in the throat, it completely changed my career, my life. And as a matter of fact, I picked up the ball and I think I said something to the effect of, "You didn't even fucking yell Fore?" And I threw the ball up and I batted it like a baseball. I absolutely clobbered the ball, and I probably hit it about 200, 250 yards out with my putter. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Oh, also, please, if you have any stories, please write them down in the comment section. As a matter of fact, I just hit somebody last week. But I told the guy that I hit, he told me, go ahead and come on up. He was marking the hazards around the course. And I hit it in his direction, and as soon as I hit it, I yelled Fore loudly, so he heard it. It ended up hitting him in the butt cheek. All right, that's it. Fore!